everybody, it's Drunks and Dragons here with another fireside chat. I'm gonna break into the craft game. We got a whole video about how I made my very first model here. I'd like to start by sending a shout out to DM Scotty at DM's Craft. So please click the link below here to go check out his channel. The video is by Mini Girl. So she makes super high detail Warhammer minis and bases. Right in here somewhere, you should be able to click the link to go check out her super cool videos. That is not the theme of this week's fireside chat. So, I'd like to thank Cult Moo. This Friday, they just gave me a quick mention on their channel. They have a great food challenge and drinking challenge channel, which you can also click down here. When they gave me a little mention on Friday, we got a bunch of new subscribers. As part of this nice wave of viewers that has come my way, thanks to Cult Moo, we had a great question from Nectic1986. So as you can see, he said, I got a couple of friends and we're thinking about playing D&D. How do we get started? Don't worry about any of the so-called game. So that's like what the rules are, what you're supposed to do. Am I supposed to play like this campaign that takes 3 years? Don't worry about any of that stuff. Thing to do, get yourself notebook paper, a pencil, and dice. You really can never have too many D20s. Sit yourself down with your notebook paper and you can do the simplest game. So you can make a character who every number, you don't know what it should be. Let's just say it's a 10. If me and my opponent are playing, I'm the giant spider here, and my opponent is a wizard. Here, let me use the green so you can see a little better. Right? Okay, it's wizard versus giant spider. Everything is number 10. So the wizard attacks the spider. I got to beat a 10 on my D20. I got a 10. So I hit him. Cha! And it's like, what damage does he do? Well, I don't know. Everything's a 10, so I roll a 1d10. 6 damage. Whoa. How many hit points does this guy have? Everything's 10, so I guess he has 10. I just did him 6 damage, so he has 4 hit points left. Great. Giant spider attacks. He's got to roll a 10 or better. 18. He hits. He does 1d10 damage. He also does 6 damage. So my wizard also has 4 damage left. There we go. I'm just using dice to track hit points. You can use your notebook paper to track hit points. Wizard takes his turn. He attacks the spider. 6. He misses. Damn. Okay, the spider takes his turn. Hit. He does his damage. Go. He does 7 damage. Badoosh. This would take my wizard to -3. But since we're having a good time playing, me and my buddy, a big heroic quaff will bring him back to life. Dude, that was a nice big chug you took. You can come back to 1 hit point. So basically in our game, that means the gods have smiled upon you for your heroism. And they pull you back from the dead to stay in the fight. So my wizard says, well, I need to do something now. So he looks around the room. The room is nothing. You don't need rules, you don't need a book, you don't need a map, you don't need anything. The room is right up here. So the room has a big stone block in it. It's sitting right there. So my wizard jumps up there and attacks the spider from above. Cha-cha! Badoosh! So I gotta beat a 10. But since I'm doing death from above, I have what we call advantage. Advantage is the most brilliant rule in 5th edition D&D. And if you want to get into D&D proper, master this rule first. This means when I'm attacking with advantage, since I'm doing death from above, roll 2d20 and take the best one. Oh, I got 8 and 5. Boy, I really made my point with that one. So I fail on both dice and I'm down here. The spider gets a chance to attack. He has to beat a 10. He rolls an 11, kills my wizard. So even though I made a hell of an awesome try jumping off the giant stone block, still just did not have the dice to win the encounter. Another great one you can do, let's get even simpler. summoned this demon from the nether regions, demanding the devil's ale from him. There's a legendary beer recipe that only this demon knows, and this wizard must have that recipe.
Who dares summon the beer demon?
I do, you fiend!
This is me saying the guys, because, I do this kind of thing. I'm a grown man. It's okay. He puts the wizard mind beam on the demon. Screw you, mortal, you'll never get the beer recipe. Puts the other mind beam on him, and it becomes a battle of wills. We just give each guy a d20, and we do what we call a roll-off. And we use roll-offs for all kinds of stuff, as part of drinking games, as combat, to beat traps, all kinds of things. Basically, just start rolling, and whoever gets a 20 first wins.
So 15, 14, 13, 9, 2, 9, 18, 7, 5, 4, 14, 3, 14, 10, 6, 13, 9, 1, 12, 2.
Hey, not 20 for the demon.
So he overcomes the wizard with his demonic will and shatters his sanity and returns to the hell from which he came, taking the legendary beer recipe with him. Con, strength bonuses, weapons, armor, how the dice can be changed. But as long as you understand how the dice make the game turn, you can do absolutely anything. And this is where the beauty of the hobby, tabletop gaming, really comes into play. It's not just your imagination up here, which a lot of people take D&D to that place. They tell big stories, they have complex subplots and character growth stuff happening, and a lot of esoterica to their game. But if you just want to sit down for one night, you can get that done too. It's just as simple. You don't even need a grid, You can just move your guys around. You can just say, let's just do roll-offs throughout the night. Whoever loses takes a drink, and then we do another one. As long as you can press that kind of play forward, you got it. That's D&D. I honestly think that D&D is best experienced when you're there with your friends, living in the moment. And when you film it, honestly, it looks like a bunch of people doing their taxes. When you're feeling groovy with some of those basics, rolling D20s, doing damage, living and dying, using advantage, then go get the starter set for 5th edition. It's an awesome primer. Don't worry about the adventure. Just get that short rules set. Even better, don't buy the starter set. D&D is now officially a free-to-play game. All the game industry trolls out there can unleash because everybody's up in arms about free-to-play. But as long as the core rules and the core functions of the game are out there for free, D&D is FTP. Whoa, brain dump. 1986, thanks for asking. In an anthropological, historical, sociological sense, it makes a ton of sense. Simply using a little bit of artifice and a little bit agreed upon fantasy to retell stories that we all love hearing again and again. I mean, it'd be a little weird to have your buddy come over, sit down, and say, okay, before I'm going to start talking at you, I just want you to chug a beer. And he's like, okay, this is a little awkward. He chugs the beer, he looks a little woozy and his cheeks light up. Then you're like, all right, I'm thinking about this wizard. This wizard is awesome. He writes these blood runes on his sword and he makes the sword hover in the air. And there's this time when he goes in a cave and there's this spider and he actually has a conversation with the spider because he's been stung with this hallucinatory venom and he's like, whoa, this is really weird. And then this gelatinous thing jumps on him and he uses the sword to cut it in half. And the corrosive gases from the cube kind of eat away at his arm and then the spider takes this chance to attack. He says, I thought we were friends. And they duel it out and he finally delivers the killing blow. And when he draws the sword out of the belly of the dead spider, a new rune is etched on the blade. He must learn what it means. If we're not playing a game and I just sit you down and tell you that, it's a little weird. Storytelling doesn't have to mean over the course of the next 2 years, your character will fall in love and experience true loss and grow to great power and sink to great depths. It can mean that if you wanted to. But story can also mean in the span of an hour or two, and the span of 10 minutes. You can have a good time retelling the fundamentals of fantasy. Heroism, self-sacrifice, swords and sorcery, chicks in bikinis and dudes with big helmets and stuff. Hell yeah, right? There you have it. It's a bit of a digression, and some might even call it a rant. Get yourself a big mug of beer, a couple of dice, and a cozy fire, and you can't go wrong.